Welcome, everyone. We are live on this glorious, glorious Thursday, or Friday, Junior, as some would say. But listen, I'm not going to keep you long because we've got a heavy snowfall warning. So your girl's got to get on the road. But hearing versus listening. Last night, if you were part of the lecture, we learned about the 12 disciples. The first one we're touching on is hearing. Peter. Peter. So when we look at hearing, um, so long as your ears are working, you will hear what is being said. Because some people are hearing impaired. But listening means that what you have heard penetrates you. Well, you can hear, yes, you can hear, because you're not hearing impaired. But listening is an activity that is, well, it is an active participation, meaning when you hear it, you take it on and it becomes a part of you. So this is why Peter, he's disciplined in what he hears. He hears only that which, number one, he wants to hear. And two, he only hears that which will move him towards his destination. Peter does not listen to, well, you know what I heard? I heard dot, dot, dot. Oh, but this thing is, oh, but that thing, mm-mm. Peter says, that's nice. But that does not help me right here, right now, in this instant to stay focused upon that which I say I am. So Peter just brushes it off and say, not for me. He wasn't deaf, he heard. But he did not listen, meaning he did not participate in what he was hearing. He only participates in listening to things that will propel him towards his greatness. He does not listen to the, but your mother said, but you're not good enough. But he does not listen to excuses. He hears only the voice of God that says, I am. The all is mine. All things are possible with God. That's what he hears. So it doesn't matter what kind of diagnosis Peter gets. It doesn't matter anything that Peter gets. He listens with the intent to always stay in line with what is. And that is, I am. His consciousness, his awareness of being. That is what he stays in line with. So on this glorious day, what are you participating in listening to? What are you participating in listening to? What are you lending your ear to? You see, don't get it twisted. It's not just what you hear from these streets. It is what you hear from the inside. Oh, what kind of thoughts are you entertaining? See? What are you actively listening to that's coming from within your own self? So these are questions that when you go through the day today, when you go through today, what will you choose to actively participate in when you hear? That is what it is. So choose. And here's the thing. It is a disciple because it is practiced and it knows. So it is disciplined. It is disciplined, meaning it has stood the test. So this is what we practice on a daily basis. Hearing that which lines up with all things are possible to God. And who is God? Ooh, ooh. I am. What is I am? Your awareness of existing. It is, for lack of a better phrase, as Neville would always say, formless, shapeless. It is just there. And you can mold it and shape it into anything. I think that's one of the most fantastic things I've ever encountered in my life. That we are malleable, moldable to become. And think about it. It appears to be rigid. Yes? It appears to be rigid, meaning unmovable, because the law is, it does not bend, it does not do anything like that. It just is what it is, and we conform. So if the law is unmoving, unbendable, well, that, so then how does it shape us into being anything? So it is like water, hard and soft at the same time. It must be hard, meaning it doesn't bend or give. Can you imagine if the principle of rhythm gave? Oh, well, that would not end well for anybody. It doesn't bend, but yet it gives. There's a difference. If you spend some time in quiet contemplation about that simple phrase alone, wait, the law is hard and soft at the same time, rigid yet malleable at the same time. There's a science experiment. I forget what the bloody hell they use, but you can make it with kitchen things. If you know what it is, drop it in the chat for me. It's that thing. You make it, and when you put your hand on top of it, your hand, if you punch it, it resists. But if you lay your hand on top of it or lay something on top of it, I think it sinks in. But you can walk on it. You can do all those things. But if you hit it or punch it, you can't. So that to me is what the law is like. The law may appear to be rigid, but when used in the way that it is intended to be used, listen, good, bad, or indifferent, it is just the use of the law that makes it malleable. The use of the law makes it malleable. The use of the law makes it rigid. As within, so without will never change. You reap what you sow will never change. But here's the malleability of it. You get to choose what you plant. So when you're hearing, because you're not deaf, you're not hearing impaired, there's all this noise and stuff going on right around you, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? But when you listen, now you are choosing what you will reap. You see where your power is? So today, as you go through today, catch yourself when you make an excuse. Oh my God, I can't do that. Catch yourself and say, whoa, wait a minute. What am I listening to? No, all things are possible to God. That is what I will hear. That is what I will participate in. That is what I will listen to. All things are possible to God, and I will test it. What do I say I want to be? And that's what you hear, and that's what you bend to. That is what you surrender to. Oh, it is beautiful. Oh, I think then it would be the surrender that makes the law malleable. I think that's what it is. Oh, hello, Trev Dog. Are you saying Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Is that what you're saying? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Because that's what WTF stands for. But I digress. Anyhow, don't let me keep you this glorious day, because the reminder is this. You and I hear because we are not hearing impaired. And if we are, there are devices that help us to hear. But the act of listening, the act of listening, that is where we want to participate. Because it is the act of listening when you say, oh, I hear what moves me forward. I hear only what falls in alignment with all things are possible to God. I listen and participate in, well, I am a God. Because the kingdom of heaven is within, and God resides in a kingdom. So your awareness of your existence is God. Your awareness of your very existence is God. As Neville Goddard so poetically says, you can forget who you are. You can forget where you are. You can forget what you're doing, but you will always know that you are. That is God, the knowing that you are. And sometimes we forget. But that's all right. There's always a daily reminder. There's always a daily reminder. So, who's here this glorious day? Trev Dog is here. Soul of a Man is here. And for some reason, it didn't go live on Facebook. Meh. But we are live on YouTube and Twitch, though, as well as Twitter and Fanbase. Saps and Yoda Green, you are here with me on this glorious morning on Twitter. And Big Mike, Honey, Afternoon Delight, you are here with me on Fanbase. So, as we go forth this morning, listen, short, sweet, and to the point. Just enough to warm the cockles of your heart. As we go out here in this world today, remember the world is neither good, bad, nor indifferent. It is what we say we are that we see the evidence of in the world. That is why the world is what it is. So the next time you say or hear, oh my God, there's so much violence in the world, let that be your cue to stop fighting within yourself. It's just an observation. It is just an observation. And let me tell you, nobody knows better about bitching and complaining like I do. I'm telling you because I know. So for me, practicing just that active participation in hearing only that which is, what is true, what is honest, what is of good report. Oh, that's okay. Practice actively listening to only that which you will hear. You know how we say sometimes that men have selective hearing? They only hear what they want to hear. Be a man today and just have selective hearing. What do you want to selectively hear? All things are possible to God. And if I say I want something, then I must believe that it is done and I have it. James 11, is it James 11:24? Whatsoever you pray for, believe that you have received it and you will. That is your caveat, whatever you want to call it, semantics. Believe that you have received it. That's your only job. Ask and believe. That's it. So you see where you hear now and why hearing is different from listening? Hearing is just, you're not deaf. You can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Well, then you can hear me. But to listen, Cyber, Brandon, to listen is to choose what you will hear. whether it would be from your neighbor, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your preacher, teacher, doesn't matter who you hear. You choose what you listen to, and that includes from within your own self. And with that, my beautiful friends, we shall play the morning chime. Time to chime in just for a few moments. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Much love to each and every one of you on this glorious Thursday. And I will see you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to fall asleep with us. We are on chapter 19 of Your Faith is Your Fortune. Peace out, y'all. Much love.